Hi, this is Rhonda from Montana Bowl of Cherries, and this is the garden in September. It's like 80 degrees today. It's towards the end of September and the leaves on the trees are starting to turn. It's really dry, but it hasn't frozen yet, which is very strange for us, but I'm not thinking it's a bad thing. So here's the front garden. Got some of the weeds out. Trying to keep up with this is always a joke. So I think what I would do different, I will take out this clump right here and this clump right here. And some of these daisies could come out, and then some more of the summer flowering plants could go into place. However, for this fall, we have these coming into bloom, and the sage has managed to do quite well. And then back here is the peony, and the grasshoppers have really eaten a lot, but it's done not too bad considering everything that could have happened to it. Here's my other sage plant, along with the kitty cat, not mine. And the clematis is back there, and then on this trellis as well. Like I said, everything's really dry and things are struggling. So we're still watering, but the wind blows a lot. So, but this planter still has a lot going on in it. The borage. And these planters, the strawberries, they're huge. And they're still, go on, cat. They're still just doing so well. The succulents at the bottom, I'm not positive are still alive. These seem to be doing all right. These are doing fantastic. So the plan is to put these strawberries back in the garden with the raspberries and the asparagus, and move the succulents to the house and see if I can get them to overwinter. Around the corner, this managed to survive all summer. I can't believe it. It's doing really well. Everything needs some water, so that would be my job today. The begonias are doing well. Oops, there we go. And this is the lemon balm, the borage. So there's still harvesting going on. Lemon balm obviously needs to be harvested. All right, now we're going to head around the corner here to the Hawaii garden, the shade garden. The fairy garden is loving its new home. So that all needs to be taken apart. And that. Some things have done well, some things have not survived so well. The mint is really enjoying its spot here. And the hostas. Okay, now we are going through the gate. And there's the puppies. Hello, my dogs. So these are the nasturtiums. Finally, at the end of the season, the nasturtiums started blooming. I'm not exactly sure what to learn from that, but we will enjoy them now. And the calendulas, the cherry tomatoes, are going a little nuts here. They're still doing really well. There's still tons of them on there, and they're still producing every single day. Oh, here's some more. Some down in here. And there were 3 planters of these. Okay, and then the raised herb bed. The basil I harvested a lot of the basil. I'm just leaving the rest of this to just use fresh until it is just gone. On this side is the lime basil that I still haven't got to, so it went to seed pretty bad, but that's all right. It's kind of helping out the late pollinators here. There's some dill and some borage. Down in here, some rosemary. The rosemary and the mint go into the chicken house to help with the flies. Here is this bumper crop of oregano. We've harvested and dried so much oregano. It's wonderful. And the other rosemary plant. This is parsley. All the way along here is parsley. The curly parsley and the flat parsley. And the flat parsley, in its second year, has gone to seed. So I can do 2 things, and I can just let the seed drop here. I can gather some of it and put it in a bag so that I can save it as it drops, which is what I'm going to do, both of them. And then next spring we will use our own parsley seed. There's so much parsley seed here. That would just be amazing to have that all become parsley. All right, we will head back to the berries and the vegetables. All right, so here we are, the peppers. Hello, chickens. The raspberries, the cherry tree, currant bushes, asparagus, and at the other end is horseradish. Okay, so rhubarb is right here. These are the rhubarb that I started from seed last spring, and they're doing well. Next spring, when they come up, they should be big enough that we can use them. The fight with the weeds continues, but we just go on because we're not ever going to be able to keep up with all the weeds, and they do have their benefits. But I did clear up space here along this drip tape in 3 different rows. It's going to be where those strawberries go. They have runners on them in the spring. So, and then the raspberries in a couple of places have done really well. We're trying to get them to fill in. They kind of do their own thing, and it depends on how much they get eaten by the grasshoppers and the other insects. The purple asparagus that I started from seed last spring is doing really well. It will be 2 more years before we can harvest this, but it survived. That was the first experiment, was can we raise it from seed? So at this point I would say yes, we can. And here's some more of the purple asparagus and some more of the rhubarb that we planted from seed. All right, and then I've started harvesting the pepper plants. So when at the end of the season, I just pull the plants and gather the peppers. So these will go on the red ones. These are Anaheims. Red ones will go on ristras. The green ones will be roasted and frozen for enchilada sauce. These are the bell peppers, and they are loaded. Bell peppers we use with the tomatoes to make the spaghetti sauce that goes in the freezer. Lots of these peppers have been pickled. This is a Tabasco pepper bush. They're not very red yet, but they'll continue to ripen after they're picked. So I can pick them, keep them in a bowl till they turn red, and then turn them into hot sauce. So that's what I've done with a couple of other plants too. Alrighty, now back here to what's left of the vegetable garden. I haven't got out of there yet. On purpose, this has not been watered a whole lot. It forces things to start to ripen. We do want to keep enough water on it because the zucchini is still producing zucchini. So down in here we have the zucchini. You can see some of the pumpkins. As they turn orange, they're poking their heads up. They are in some funny places. The corn is done. We usually don't pull the corn. We usually just drag the fence over top of it, and when we move this fence, the chickens will eat this. The green beans are gone, and they all went to weed. The potatoes are out of the ground, and so the piles of mulch are left along with the potato vines. There's a little bit of Swiss chard left, and I haven't pulled the carrots yet. These tomatoes, there are so many tomatoes left. It's unbelievable. There are so many tomatoes left that they knocked the fence down. They're tied with zip ties, and the zip ties broke, and the whole fence was laying on the ground. So even though I cut them back once, I cut them back a second time. I took a lot of green tomatoes in the house. And we have still these huge tomatoes ripening here. But this week, all of the plants will need to be pulled. And these green tomatoes will go into boxes with newspaper over the top to ripen, and I'll just keep picking tomatoes out of the box. All along we have the pumpkins. Over there on the other side of the corn is the squash. This is where the cucumbers have been. They're still cucumber plants, but they're not really producing a whole lot, partly because we stopped watering, partly because it's the end of the season and they're just done. So we do have a couple still down in there. One I wanted to show you, this pumpkin vine here, this really thick vine is pumpkin. It came up over the top. And this huge pumpkin is in the cucumbers. And then the vine continued on. And here's a pumpkin. And right up into this plum thicket that I already harvested the plums from. There is a pumpkin growing. It won't get any bigger than that. It's just, that is what it is, but it's funny. It makes me laugh a little bit. And then over here, that gourd that we've been watching. There's a gourd right down in there. There's other gourds in here. And then the winter squash. Okay, so Hubbards. I also planted butternuts, but I haven't found any butternuts yet. These pumpkins took over everywhere. So this weekend, my little grandbabies and their auntie and their dad will come and pick what they want for the pumpkins. And then some of my other little friends will come and pick what they want for the pumpkins. And what is left will be what I use. But there's so many pumpkins, I don't think I'm going to have a problem finding some for myself. Here is some more of the blue Hubbard squash. It's Cameron's favorite. I like the butternut. But so far I haven't found any. That's alright. What grows, grows. They really don't have a whole lot of control over what grows. So what I would do different. I'm trying to reclaim this area back here, and when I get that done, then the last row after the corn, the last 2 rows, would be the pumpkins, the gourds, and the winter squash, so that it could grow where it's fertilized well and then flow this way and take over this area over here, not run into the corn, and would be a little bit easier to keep track of and take care of. Some of our sad chickens, it is molting season. We have feathers all over the place except on chickens. And they have all these weeds in here, and they don't touch them unless I connect to them. I'm not sure, I might have overdone the taking care of the chickens, so they now can't take care of themselves. But they do really great at the grasshoppers, so that works. Right, I hope you found something in the garden in September that helps you as you are closing up your garden. This is Rhonda from Montana Bowl of Cherries, and thank you for watching.